Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe right now. This is absolutely huge. Share this everywhere. Jordan wins GOP nomination for Speaker on second try. Jim Jordan nominated for Speaker of the House by divided GOP. Actually, they're not that divided. He is the House Judiciary Chairman. He's very popular among Republicans. There are some never-Trump Republicans, but the Republican Party isn't that divided. It's not that divided if they kicked out McCarthy and they're now nominating Jim Jordan, who will eventually win the GOP, the speakership, the House speakership. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe if you want to support this channel. My Patreon link is below, and the super thanks to Read My Writing in the Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, and other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. This is absolutely huge because he's the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. The man is the equivalent, let's say, of what Democrats had in Pelosi, which is exactly what Trump and Trump Republicans needed. The same Republicans who don't want endless military conflict, the opposite of the Lincoln Project, Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld Republicans who sent Americans, along with Democrats like Kerry and Biden and Clinton and others, to never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. So you have a new type of conservative, ladies and gentlemen. Here is why Jim Jordan is so great. Chairman Jordan responds to District Attorney in Fulton County. The reason he's great is because he's actually going to defend a former Republican president, unlike Republicans who blame Trump for everything as they continually throw him under the bus. So you can't blame Trump, for example, for losing Arizona or Georgia when you as a Republican Party investigated Trump based on complete lies and absurd nonsense, claiming that he worked for another country when the opposite, well, none of it was true. If anything, the ties to other countries was with Democrats. Jordan demands documents from Hunter probe. Here you have Jim Jordan going to bat for Trump and for the country. Okay, you can't have a president, former President Trump, accused of everything under the sun while Democrats actively lie, engage in the most rampant corruption possible. Here you have, and then you have media serving as a mouthpiece. Jim Jordan's dishonest argument of wrongdoing by Biden. Not this person could have just simply wrote Jim Jordan's false claims. He offered a rebuttal, a dishonest argument. The notion that Jim Jordan was dishonest is dishonest unto itself, in and of itself, I should say. You can look, and it goes on and says, well, you know what? It wasn't Biden's doing. We asked somebody who said that Biden didn't want to fire the prosecutor, even though he's on tape in front of the Council on Foreign Relations, stating that they would withhold $1 billion in loan guarantees. And here you have an email literally asking, according to the New York Post, literally asking Hunter, an email on his laptop that has been confirmed now by all the 50 intelligence officials who lied through their teeth as having been genuine and legitimate and Hunter's. And they lied about that just to cover up the actual corruption within the Democratic Party so mashed potato brains could get the Oval Office. But you look and it says, an earlier email from 2014, number 3 executive at that company asked Hunter for, quote, advice on how you can use your influence on the company's behalf. Literally advice on how you can use your influence. There's literally an email asking for advice. I mean, you can't get more blatant than that. Okay, so you can't get more blatant than an email asking for influence on behalf of a specific company. So it's right there. It's right there. Then you have, just endless articles from the New York Post. Oh my God, Democrats didn't do anything wrong. But you have not only emails showing that Hunter and Joe were part of an obvious bribery and graft scheme. But you look, Hunter, another email to an oligarch. They're all over the Hill, New York Post, Daily Mail. They're trading on their name. They're not like actually selling a product or a service like Trump. They're not selling real estate. Okay? So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where Hunter is actually engaging in a clear violation of the law when it comes to, I mean, again, you can just look at, this is the initial article that started it off in 2020. Biden lied about his business dealings. He stated categorically that he never worked with Hunter. Now, of course, the Washington Post didn't have a Pinocchio count. There wasn't 5,000 Pinocchios like there was with Trump. With Trump, I mean, there's so much within this mythology, this liberal democratic ideology or mythology regarding Trump. Oh, he lies so much. Nobody lies more than media trying to prop up Democrats who actually do engage in obvious bribery schemes. So you have a situation where the New York Times and the Washington Post and the CNN, MSNBC, the Atlantic, New Yorker, New York Magazine, Vanity Fair, Esquire, all of these publications are trying desperately to say, there's nothing here, don't be suspicious. But the reason over half the country is suspicious and that Trump is defeating Biden in an average of polls now is because people understand what's going on. They know that you might not like Trump, but he's not nearly. Actually, I can't really see the corruption within Trump aside from extreme leaps of logic. He tried to stop the will of the people. No, he didn't. He tried to foment a rebellion. No, he didn't. He worked for another country. No, he didn't. So it's whether they're the indictments or these special counsels that go after Trump, they don't find anything. So the classified data issue, Clinton had servers with top secret intel. I mean, everything points to Democrats getting away with endlessly more and them going after Trump. But here you have emails from Hunter's laptop showing a clear bribery and graft scheme. And it's not even Hunter. It's actually Joe. Joe is the person, the vice president at the time, the current president, is the person that people, are giving money for, the person people want. So if you look, ladies and gentlemen, the emails point to Joe Biden knowing about Hunter's businesses, being the reason that Hunter and people around him have these consulting businesses, shell corporations, and you look at Jim Jordan going after this with the House Judiciary, and it's not just like, I mean, you need somebody like Jim Jordan because you need a Republican Party. If you're going to have a political party and a Republican Party that's completely different from the House, from the Bush, never Trump Republican. House Republicans launched probe into Fulton County's politically motivated Trump indictments. There you go. They are politically motivated. You don't just go ahead and indict Trump and allow Hunter and Joe and Bill and Hillary to just get away with everything. Private service with top secret intel, obvious graft and bribery within emails. The Washington Post does not, the New York Times and the Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, their only objective is to ensure that you're not suspicious and that you're only suspicious of Trump. Suspicion, distrust can only be leveled to Trump. With Joe, with mashed potato brains, it's, all of these things took place. They're just mere coincidences that have nothing to do with obvious graft and bribery schemes, which are, by the way, worse than anything. If you have to understand politics to realize that what Democrats have gotten away with is worse than anything that Trump was even accused of. I mean, once you understand a little bit about politics, you see what's taking place. Jim Jordan, a Speaker of the House, leading the charge against all this nonsense. That's a huge game-changing moment, ladies and gentlemen. Hit subscribe, share this everywhere. Thank you so very much.